5-1 Bruins.
Big swing here by Marcinowski, getting up. Her whole body's turned cross court, and that's why Alder had so much trouble digging it, because she was able to throw that shoulder and go back down the line.
Point blank on the smash by Stansbury and blocked away by Alter.
Stansbury here having her hands full with a big closed block right in front of her. Needs to maybe be a little smarter, throw in some roll shots, some tips, some of those shots that we know that she has, and I'm sure that we're going to be seeing some of that soon.
Padua by 3, set number 2. There's Peterson. Bazelak. Peterson stops that one. Tip by Stansbury.
I thought that might be what we're going to see out of her next. She's a smart player. She knows I got blocked last time. I need to put a ball in. I need to get a couple of kills to get my confidence back up for those big swings, and there she does, makes the smart play and is able to get the kill.
Seiler, dug out by Marcinowski. Stansbury cross court. That went off Bazelak's hand.
Again, we see another smart play out of Stansbury. There, she could have gone, if you take a look, she could have gone cross court outside the block, but instead she chooses to get Seiler's tip of her hands, get the tool, and still get the kill. She doesn't always need the powerful kill, and she's one of those players who knows that. Sometimes I don't need a big bang exclamation mark. That is going to get a kill on the stat sheet just as much as hitting some defensive player in the face.
Well, you couldn't have scripted the start of the second set any better for Padua. They're up 5, 7-2.
I think Padua might have needed maybe to just hit that reset button in between sets, and that's exactly what it appears that they did, now taking an early lead. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Alder reacts to this, because they are seeing a different Padua team than they saw in set 1. And so they need to come out of this timeout very strong and get a point here. Make a statement.
You're looking at some of the kills by Katie Stansbury so far. She is the right side hitter. Just a junior, 5'8". Padua does not blow you away with their height, but as you alluded to earlier, great athletic ability. They can get as far above the net as some 6'2" and 6'3" players.
Absolutely. They play a much taller game than the sheet reads that they stand at. Especially Stansbury. I mean, right side hitters, you look at the stereotypical right side hitter and long arms, long legs. You want to set a big block for that outside hitter on the opposite side. And Stansbury stands only 5'8".
Peterson right down the line. So a side out for the Bruins. They lead at 8-3. That was a big play because it gets Seiler out of the game after one serve.
And Peterson having a huge game already, hitting well over 400 and having 8 kills already.
Sent down the line by Jocelyn Meyer. Meyer being heavily recruited by Division I program. She is just a junior. That one out of bounds. The freshman, Victoria Oliver, gets in on the stat sheet. There's Oliver, number 7. Jumba Harry, unafraid to use those underclassmen. That one coming with a lot of force and out of bounds off the block, 9-5. All right, Lindsay, you look at this kind of a stage, this kind of pressure, and you see a player come in who is in 9th grade.
I can't believe it. It's crazy to me to look at some of these players and say, oh my gosh, that girl's only a freshman. The future for a few of these Padua players is just so bright.
Double hit on the Knights. They lead this match 1-0. Padua playing well here in set 2, trying to even things up in the Division II. State championship match here at the Nutter Center. Boy, how that one got over, I'm not sure.
I don't know either, and Padua having a little bit of trouble with their blocking right now, needing to press over a little more. They're getting the touches they need, but the touches are coming back on their side. That just means they need to press over just a little more in order to finish those blocks.
Marcinowski.
That's a huge swing out of Marcinowski. She's really making a statement here. Look how high she gets up. Contacts this ball fully extended outside the block, really making Alder pay.
That is pure joy when she gets one of those down.
Yes.
11-6. They've doubled them up now, 12-6. And Kilner back to the service line. Hitting percentages going up for both of these squads. That will help Seiler with another kill. That is her 6th.
And you look here, I think Marcinowski just got pulled a little too far in, and then she jumped with the setter and gives Seiler an open net, which is something you never want to give her.
Baselak with the block, but out of bounds on the smash by Marcinowski. Emily Marcinowski will play in college, as we said, at St. Francis. So will Jennifer Rest. She'll be college teammates with her current Bruin teammate as well. Out of bounds. Tipped by the Bruins. 13-8. Serve goes back over to Alter. I stumped you yesterday on the nickname of St. Francis University.
You did.
Everyone knows it's
You're
the
good
Red
at all
Flash.
those. I know. Who doesn't know that?
Here is the smash by Stansbury and off the fingertips of Baselak. And another point for the Bruins, 14-18.
Again, we see another smart play out of Stansbury. See, she had a hole. She could have hit that hole, but instead she makes an even smarter choice and goes off the blocker's outside hands to Toole once again.
Alter. It's the serve back. Already the rotation moving around again, so Seiler is back on the service line. Kilner for Peterson. Dug out, and now Rodehaber sets up Baselak. Well, you want the on-court general, and that is Mary Rodehaber.
And right now it looks like Oliver for Padua is just having a little bit of trouble closing the block, and she's really creating a lot of opportunities for Alder. That block has got to be closed, or else Alder's going to hit those holes and make Padua pay every single time. Make it very hard on Padua's defense.
Here's Rodehaber. There's the serve. 15-10. Padua by 5, second set. Marcinowski to Kilner, and now Peterson. That one is in. Boy, the downward plane of some of these attacks by Padua is very, very shocking.
It is. They have some really great athletes on their team, and now you see Gilner going front row, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some dumps out of her to really try and change it up offensively.
Padua point, and now it is 17-10. Stansbury, number 11, at the service line. Baselak out of bounds. That was not received cleanly, Lindsay, and they weren't able to set up what they really wanted there. Baselak had to sort of shoot it over farther back from the net than she wanted to be, and Tina Jasanowski will take a timeout here. 18-10 Padua. If you're the Knights right now, what are you going to try to do out of this timeout?
Well, right now it looks to me like Alder's serve receive is looking a little shaky in the last few points. They started out strong, but right now, I wouldn't say it's falling apart, but it's definitely starting to have some holes. And I'm sure that that's what they're talking about in their huddle is we just need one pass. Something that's said very often in volleyball, one pass, one pass. If they can get a pass on target, then they can run their offense. But like you said, without a first pass and that shaky first touch, it's going to be very difficult to run their offense. And Padua is going to make you pay. You see here, their offense being very, very strong and being led by Peterson, who's having an amazing game so far. Really doing a great job taking advantage of any kind of holes that Alder's leaving open and being smart. She knows when to take the big swings and when to take the smart swings. And she's doing a very good job here today.
Sarah Peterson headed to Indiana State University, the alma mater of the great Larry Bird. She'll play there for the Sycamores next year. Stansbury sends it on its way. Kilner for Peterson, right on cue.
It's funny, we just talked about how important serve receive was for Alder and how much of an impact Peterson is having. And that's exactly what just happened. Alder didn't focus in on their serve receive, had a kind of rocky pass, and then Peterson made him pay for it.
Crotty turned away. Now Bazelak. The rest with the dig. Bruins will be content to do that all night long. Peterson really starting to get into a groove here.
You see here yet again another great swing by Peterson, but I think the credit for this play has got to go to Veras. She had a great dig that made it so that Padua could set up their offense.
Alter comes back with the kill. Maddie Bazelak, first team All-State. Not hard to see why. That was one of the easier votes to cast.
Absolutely. And right now with her team being down, she's going to do everything in her power to make those big plays. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Oh my gosh, Kilner has such a great volleyball IQ. She knows where players are going to be without even looking. Look, she didn't even look on the other side of the court. She doesn't need to. She knows that's a weak spot on the floor, and she knows the odds are no one's going to be there for Alder, and no one was.
You called it. You've played this game a time or two.
I have, yes.
There's the block, 22-11. I think we witnessed this a little bit in the semifinals, Lindsay. Padua's confidence seems to grow as the match goes along.
It does, and it's a force to be reckoned with when it's at its height.
Oliver and Kilner combine on the block. 23-11. Alter won the first set, 25-23. Another block, this time Marcinowski and Oliver set up the wall on the left side.
And you talked about confidence. With confidence comes good blocking, in my opinion. The more confident you get, the more you're going to know that you're going to get there, and you're actually going to get there. Oliver does a great job of closing a block there, making it hard on Alder's offense, like once again.
Well, that time hit right through the block by Jocelyn Meyer, number 21. Meyer, a very versatile hitter for Alter. Bazelak from the service line, 24-12. Set point for the Bruins. That one into the scorer's table. And Padua evens things up here in the Division II final. 25-12. They take set number 2. And we are even, Steven, here in Dayton, headed into set number 3. Take a look at some of the big blocks by the Bruins as we head to break here in Dayton.